Hey y'all, I'm latesharashae,
And I'm Quita Renee.
and we the biddies. We the biddies. If y'all didn't know, ask about it. Um, we have been gone for a little minute. We be busy. But let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. This was episode 14, and I think it's called Renew. Now this episode
Renew,
was a good episode.
rebirth.
Yeah, it was Renew. But this episode was good. So I'm gonna just start off because I always forget when we get toward the end. I rated this episode. I'm gonna say 8 to 9 peaches. What you giving it?
I'll, I'll give it a solid 8.
Okay, I'm with you. And why did you give it
Um, I feel like it showed different sides of just about everybody that's cast. And when I say different sides, whether they showed like the same side of them, at least we got emotion. You
an 8? Yes,
know?
yes. I also agree. I was gonna say that exactly the same way. Um, Particularly because of Brit.
Oh,
They did more character development on this episode with Brit, and this is what episode 14. And a part of the reason why I didn't like to see Brit at all is because I didn't know anything about her. I haven't seen anything that you can connect with her on. And I feel like this was the first time I was able to connect and understand her. Furthermore, I gave it an 8 because I feel like it gave us all aspects of what I love about housewives.
okay.
Friendship, support, a little drama, a little shade, and vacations.
Okay.
Lifestyle. I think we kind of saw all of that in one thing, in one episode. So that was good. It was refreshing. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the episode, Didi. You want to start off, or you want me to just kind of start off? Because
Yeah.
I ain't even going in no particular order. I just want to talk about, of course, the girls are in Grenada.
Yeah.
And one of the parts that I really loved was when they were kind of taking pictures, the ambiance of the waterfall. I thought that
Oh.
was a really good scene. We saw Cynthia, Portia,
Mhm.
Phaedra, and Shamia. They were all twerking on the waterfall.
Mhm.
I thought that was a really good song. I thought it was a really good song. And then also, I said a good song, a good scene.
I got you.
You know what I thought was interesting is that I think that Shamia looks bomb. I think her body is
Oh
10,
yeah. And
but
it's hers.
insecurity. She mentioned being very insecure about her body right now, and I know she mentioned in a previous episode that she was doing the shots for fertility. I think she was trying to go through the process again of having a baby. Didn't she say that?
To
Oh,
get her eggs.
right. And
Get her
so with
eggs.
those injections, I'm sure that's causing some kind of hormonal imbalance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just a lot of things that women deal with. And I know I've had these specifically, but I'm gonna let you go touch base on that too.
So I enjoyed that scene too. I like the whole I like the process when they do split the girls up where they have some people over here, some people over here. I mean, that gives us more to watch, right? The scene where they were at the waterfall, that was cute. That was like the fun girls.
I would have liked to
So
see.
would you have been on the fun girl side or the
I would
cookie
have
side?
definitely been where the waterfall when the picture moments was. I would have
Yes,
definitely.
yes, yes. Not necessarily for the picture moments, but I just feel like, oh, baby, we finna turn up. We finna have some fun.
Yeah, but a part of me would have liked to see all the girls in that type of environment and scene. I would have liked to see Drew kind of let loose. She going through a divorce. I would have liked to see Angela do give you old vibes. I would have liked to see Angela twerking or what she can do in this situation. So I
But
would have definitely
see,
been in.
But see, this is the thing. We have discovered that when they bring all the girls together like that, there's always an argument. Break it up. Let us see some fun. And they still have fun with the cooking as well. I mean, those were some good looking men over there. They learned how to cook a dish.
I mean, how can you be arguing and bitching in a waterfall?
I mean, it can be done.
Speaking of the waterfall, Portia ass is big, ain't
Girl,
it?
you so silly.
It was the, I mean, it's like out, it's like the back like this, then the booty just like
Like,
big.
badass.
I know she always been shapely, but is this some added booty bitty, or is this? It looked like some additional booty back there. Is all I'm saying, and I ain't knocking it. It looks good,
She
but
said when she got her boobs done, she said, it's like I got my boobs done and my ass trying to compete, getting bigger too. That was the words that she utilized some seasons back.
well, we don't Portia be lying, but I mean, whether she did or didn't, she looked good. But I feel
She
like
does.
it's a little additional booty. But Portia's body has always been T. Even when she
Yes,
was Portia,
always.
now she big boy.
Always. Hmm. I agree.
Yeah, but so after they leave the waterfall, the girls are preparing for dinner. They show Angela calling Charles repeatedly. And like in her confessional, she was like, this is their, I think, 10-year anniversary.
Eight.
And 8 year. Okay, thank you. Her 8th-year anniversary, and this is the first anniversary that they have not spent together. How do you feel about missing those milestone moments? I know you've been married for quite some time. How do you feel about missing
Is
those?
like if I was in Angela's position and I'm 2 million, this is not shade. And
Okay,
I'm $2 million in debt. At
girl.
least I'm getting income from being on this show. So I am showing up for the girls' trip. I need my check. Okay.
So it's about the money.
Me and
Okay,
my husband, we can still go on a trip when I get back. That's just how I see it.
okay. So you're saying you don't mind
That
missing
he
those
went.
milestone moments as long as the money is making sense. But money, all things aside, money. Are you okay with like being away for your anniversary?
Yes.
Okay. But okay, they show Angela calling Charles repeatedly and getting a voicemail. You've reached the voicemail box of nine
That's
zero.
just messy boots.
Like she got the voicemail so many times. And she went in her confessional saying like she was feeling away, but it doesn't seem that Charles is missing Angela. And I did recognize in this episode, because this is not the end that we'll see of Angela talking about missing Charles.
Okay.
I did realize this episode that production is creating a narrative that
They
Charles
are.
does not love Angela.
They are.
I feel like it's episode 14. I have seen enough of Angela for me, in my very own opinion, that I don't think she's a girl that would be my man, my man, my man, my man, and I'm Mrs. Oak. And you know, if you don't want the shade, stand away from the oak. I don't think she would be one of those people going this hard for a man that wasn't giving her what she needs or not treating.
Right. Right.
What you think?
I agree. I agree. I think that Charles does care about her. I think that he does value his relationship. That's just not his thing. Like to be all extra like that. It's like what are we talking about? And it's like Angela doesn't want the public to think a certain way about her relationship because those people they do get it hard. When the outside people don't agree with your relationship, people be going in hard. And I think about Marcel and Tisha. Like people do not want them to be together. So
Yeah.
it's like when the outside opinions get in your relationship, it does affect it in some type of way.
Do you think that Angela is noticing it and that's the reason for her behavior of like calling Charles and feeling like she's supposed to be there for her anniversary? Do you think she, at this moment, I know this is like pre recorded, but do you think that she is aware of how it looks and trying to do some course correction?
I think she is aware because of the comments that the group keep bringing to her. They don't brought up outside baby. They didn't know anything about her. Baby, every time they ask somebody new, you know, Charles, oh, I love Charles. Charles, the fun person at the party. Woo, 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 wham, wham. And then they be like, what about Angela? They be like, oh, I didn't know he was married.
Right. And even on this episode, when they were sitting down having lunch earlier that day, they were talking about wearing your wedding ring.
Yeah.
Angela kind of was like, "Oh yeah, because Charles don't wear his ring," and she said it so casual. Oh well, Charles don't wear his ring while she was eating her salad or whatever. And Portia was like, "This girl must got Tourette's," because she
That was funny.
it was so funny. She was like, "This girl must get Tourette's because she just be blurting out her business and nobody
Yes.
for it.
Nobody asked.
And nobody. I mean, nobody asked." But that's the reason why I like Angela, because she gives up things so voluntary. And I think I like it because I do that too. In my own person. Like I tell everything. If my booty pink and my booty all brown, you gonna know about it. So I think that's why I really like Angela, because this is my reality. But one thing I do hope for Angela is that they don't let this show ruin whatever
Right,
relationship,
right.
because that's what they are going for. Have you noticed that they do this
No,
with
no.
every couple? And then you on a cast with everybody going through a divorce. Everybody's going through a divorce. Brie, her relationship don't count. I don't know much about that.
Why that lady don't count?
It's
She
just
married. She married.
he's telling us that. And I don't want to put a,
I'm done.
project how I see their relationship. So I just don't know
Mhm.
about it. But I do hope that Angela does not allow public opinion to screw up what she has, because obviously before this show, it's been 8 years.
Yeah.
She's been making it work and making do with what she got. And obviously she's been
Mhm.
happy, and I hope. So I hope that that doesn't tear them down too. But looking at how they are trying to portray Charles as if he is this husband that just don't care about his wife, I
Right.
don't like it. And I hope she kind of try to pivot this narrative in a new direction. Pull a Heavenly. My marriage is not up for sale. I
It's
love it.
not.
If when all else fails and your relationship is under public scrutiny, pull a Heavenly. And it's the best advice I got.
Mhm.
If I'm a woman with no man. And moving right along.
I'm done. Oh, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
So, I know you say you don't have a man, but when you do get your man, when you do get married, would you feel uncomfortable with him not wearing a ring?
Absolutely. If
Okay.
Absolutely. And it could be just because I'm a woman who is not in a long-term relationship and never been married. But obviously I care. Yes, put your shit on if I have to go whoop your ass. Handle this.
So, when I first got married, I was like, "Where's your ring? Keep your ring on." Like he was wearing it and everything. Okay, cool, cool.
And that,
Then I think, his ring had got a crack in it. Some of his fingers are so fat. His ring had got a crack in it. So it came a point where we had to go get that resolved. I ended up having to get a new one, but we had to go get that resolved. So he wasn't wearing it until he got the new one. So now it's just like it may be on, it may not be on. Like
question.
he's not a ring person, but I don't care about that. In the very beginning, I did. I did. I was like, you gonna wear that motherfucking ring. But I'm gonna tell you something. My man gonna let you know he married.
Okay. I got a question because I understand. Because I know him. I feel like I already know the answer. But question.
Uh-huh.
How
Oh,
would
I already know what you're about to say.
would he feel if you don't wear your ring? Is that a thing for him?
Um,
You don't know?
no. I don't think that's a thing for him.
I
I don't
challenge
think that's a thing
y'all
for
to
him.
do that.
But I feel like it's a little bit different with women and men. I'm gonna say this: there are some men that just don't wear rings, right? They are not jewelry people like that.
Okay.
Some don't wear watches or nothing like that. Like he will sometimes put a watch on, but that's just not his thing.
Mhm.
Uh, I remember when I first got with him with the class ring. They spent all this money on the class ring, and he didn't even wear it. I was just like, "This is just dumb. You just spent all this money for no reason." But what was I gonna say?
Look,
Oh,
bro.
about the jewelry. Oh, okay. So with my ring, I
Yep.
remember I got a scar. You remember that when I had got that scar up on my ring finger because something fell on my ring with my ring. Something fell down. I got a cut right here, so it was hurting wearing the ring. I had it out for like some weeks until it healed. He didn't say anything. He knew why I was off. It was like I don't know. The difference is with the men and the women. There are some men that don't wear jewelry, so they just don't like to wear the ring. But women, baby, we like to flaunt our ring. You gonna have that thing on. Like every 5 seconds, you gonna be like this. So
Yeah.
that's why I feel like women just automatically wear their ring or want to wear their ring.
It's a prideful thing. Like, I'm a wife. a lot of women, I think we get stuck
Yeah.
to. But I feel like I'm gonna be one of those, my man, my man, my man. And yes, it's gonna always be like me getting my hair behind my ear with this finger, you
Not
know,
with the ring finger.
picking my nose like with that finger. I'm gonna be like, ooh, my back
Yeah.
itching. I'm gonna be scratching it with that finger. You know, I feel like I'm
I'm
gonna be one.
like, girl, take a bath. Like, what is wrong with you?
I'll be like, no, I'm gonna just scratch it like that.
What is wrong with you?
Anyway, like back to this episode. There was a point in this episode where I was like, Shamia was annoying me. And
Oh.
it was a point where earlier, or maybe last episode or earlier than this in this episode, Britt was like, she's not a drinker. We saw them showing her
Oh
throat.
yeah. Okay.
She
It was this
don't
one.
like to take shots. She didn't, I don't think she said anybody was pressuring her to take shots, but she was just like, I told y'all I don't take shots. I understand it too. I understand it. But there was a point where I think they were in the kitchen and Shamia was getting shots again. And she was like doing this subliminal, but not so subliminal thing where she was like, well, I'm going to ask everybody, do they want a shot? Because I don't want nobody to say I forced them to have. Very
Yeah.
passive aggressive.
Yeah.
It is not slow. She caught on and she was like, Shamia, you like doing the most. It's not that big of a deal for you to be calling me out about it. I just said I don't take shots.
Right.
So I wanted to just point that little part out there. Shamia was throwing jabs there because we move on to the dinner scene later and Shamia does it yet again
Hmm.
to Britt. She brought up, and I want to say this before I get started. Britt looked beautiful at dinner.
She did.
Beautiful
She's
at
she's a pretty girl.
she is a pretty girl. Um, but at this table at dinner, Shamia started to talk about giving back and the donations that everyone gave. And she was like, I don't feel like it's okay to pull up in a Rolls Royce, wearing a Birkin bag, and then you bring one box of one ply paper. We did see Britt pull up with one box, and we saw in Shamia's garage boxes to the ceiling, at
Right.
least 50 to 100.
Right.
We saw Drew send over a truck full of water. We saw
Yeah.
Kelly pull up with a truck full of things, you know. All of the girls showed up. We saw Britt pull up with a box of tampons, a box of pads. Don't even look like it came from Sam. Looked like it came from the Kroger down the street. She had one box of even I don't even know if it was Scott or
She
Sonic.
had an extra box at the house.
It was probably Scott. But what Shamia did for me, and I like Shamia, and I hate when people I like do stuff like this, right? I think it was very distasteful because did they show anything about Shamia saying what the minimum was? What was the minimum? Do we know?
Right.
Brit is a newbie too.
Hmm.
I can't count nobody pocket. Shamia, you live in a castle. You got a man that I don't know what Brit's husband does. He might be a stay-at-home husband. I don't know.
With
So
that ring on her finger, he ain't no stay at home, honey.
she might have bought it herself. We don't know what these folk do. But my thing is, I had questions if Shamia was bringing this up. Did she
Yeah.
have a minimum of donation? Should it have been common sense what you should donate?
Yeah.
And did you pull her to the side and say, hey, is that other truck that you promised coming? So what's your take on it, BD? Because I just didn't like it. I think it was distasteful. You can't tell somebody how much to give. If somebody gave something to me, they gave enough. Or because I feel like if you given anything, you gave what you could give.
Yeah.
That's just me. If I came and I gave you $10, that's all I had.
I was annoyed that there were so many side conversations about it. Even when Shamia brought it up at that table, she didn't directly say Brit.
But she
That
did.
was who you were talking about. It was very passive aggressive. So say it with your chest,
Yeah.
Brit. I didn't appreciate you only bringing this small box of donations. I know there was no minimum, but usually with our caliber, just like Faye Faye said, with the type of the caliber woman that we are, the minimum should be $1,000. That should be the minimum. And when Phaedra said that, I said that makes sense.
It does.
It does.
Do
But
we
maybe that wasn't told
to
to
her?
her. That
And
was my first time hearing it. But when I heard it with the group of women that they are with, I'm like, okay, y'all
but
can get with that.
these group of women, y'all didn't even bring her into the group to groom. You know, like when Ashley came on Potomac, Karen with her pushback wig was like, there's a certain etiquette in Potomac. You just,
Yes.
I'm going to show you how we do things. Oh, well, at your event, you have to have napkins.
Hmm.
Britt is not a typical housewife. How would
Right.
she know these things? So I'm extending grace to Britt on behalf of that. She's not a typical housewife based on
Right.
her outfit from the last event. She just does not know. Based on her not serving food to all of the guests at her last event,
Yes.
not
This
know.
isn't her thing. Yeah. I agree. I agree.
This is
I
not.
agree 1000%. And I didn't like that Shamia was being passive aggressive about it. I hate when people try to bring up something, they are addressing a situation because something happened to one person in particular. But you try to bring the whole group in it instead of just saying something to that one person who the situation is directed towards.
I hate
I
this
don't
shit.
like it.
Don't you hate this shit at work when
Yes,
they up and they come and be like, there's gonna be uh disciplinary action taken toward those who aren't doing what you're supposed to do because you know it's supposed to be done. And I'm like, bitch, I do what I'm supposed to do. So
exactly.
Shirley, you call Shirley ugly ass in that meeting because don't talk to me. That pissed me off. So I
Directed to Shirley.
exactly get Shirley ass on in there on one on one because you ain't talking to little T. That's what you ain't doing. That's another thing with that scene, Biddy. I felt like this is why they need to keep OGs on the show. This is why you need a Nene. I
Yeah.
don't know why people mention Sheree.
Yes.
I never mention her when I think about people I want to come back. No, never Sheree.
That's funny.
Why I think about the Nene. This is also why I would bring a Kenya in the loop because old housewives would have never done it in that manner. They would have been like, so Kim, I do want to say this while all of
Mhm.
us together, your donation was shitty. I think it was shame.
Yeah.
They would have, and that is how a housewife handles those things. You bring it right there at the table. That's how we got some of the most infamous scenes. That's
Yes.
how the who said that? You know, somebody got to carry the bone and carry it the right way. And what Shamia should have done, since she has also kind of grooming her own lapdog, Kelly should have been the
I'm
one.
not finna play with you.
You know, that's usually how it is, Biddy. The lapdog usually get the bone and be like, so, Britt, you know, there was a thing earlier where you brought the donations to Shamia's house and you only brought one box and you said that somebody else was bringing it. We had an hour left and they never showed up. That's how this should have been brought.
Hmm.
So, the reason I understood Britt in this very episode is because she was like, are you talking to me? And
Right. She
she
called it out.
she called it out. And that's one thing I was like, okay. So, this lets me know Britt has what it takes to be
Yeah.
a housewife.
Yeah.
She just didn't bring just doesn't bring it in a way that she doesn't soften it. She rough around the edges. But then again, she don't got nobody to teach her. You want to
This,
add to
this is true. I do agree with that. I agree with all of that. I have always liked Britt Edie, but today confirmed why I liked her. She
that?
didn't even do anything like um too outlandish or say anything or have a moment like people say. Well, I guess she did do a few things in this episode that made me like her. And what made me say that I like her, where I can verbally say that I like her, is because she has proved that if stuff in the beginning did not happen, she will make a good housewife. Everybody go through that grooming stage in the very beginning where you be like, we kind of felt like that with Drew. But I
Yeah,
like Drew as a housewife.
I like Drew as a housewife too. I see
Yeah.
more from her, but I like her as a housewife. And I didn't see anything from Brie that made me like her from the beginning. But I felt like again this episode pulled back so many layers. We showed
Hmm.
she can be a friend. We showed that we knew from the beginning that she could call a bitch out. And I think that's what made it so distasteful. I didn't get a liking to you before. Anybody can get rowdy. Anybody got that in them. Anybody can get loud. We can all get up and fight. We can, we can always do that. But I think this is what was needed to me, just to see a softer side of her. It made her more human.
Yeah.
Um, But following that with her back and forth with Shania about the donation, Portia interjects herself, and I still don't see what Portia's point was. Could you help me? Because I
She doesn't have a point. That baby is grasping for straws. The Drew thing didn't work. So she just like, okay, I don't have anything else. So let me just insert myself into this. I didn't like the fact that you said that nobody is there for you at the dinner table and you've never invited me to your house. And I'm just like, girl, who cares?
yes.
Who
So
cares?
I was like, what is this lady trying to say? What did one thing have to do with another? I felt like she was talking about Britt when Britt brought up at the table about Phaedra. Well, Phaedra, I wanted to apologize because I invited Apollo. It was like,
Yeah, just blurting
what
stuff.
the hell does the peas have to do with the apple? I just don't know. So I was a bit confused with that and then understood Britt's annoyance with Portia on that part. Because, bitch, what you talking about?
She
What are
don't
you
know.
talking about? And they were saying that Britt was aggressive. But in that moment, I understand where the aggression came from. Because it's like, hold on, I'm trying to gather this bitch and you gonna jump in and try to talk to me about some whole other shit. Like, girl,
Right.
move on from me with this, Apollo. Move away from me with this.
She's
Yeah,
like, let me finish my subject. Portia.
I'm gonna get on Britt head a little bit though. I know I understood her.
Sensitive.
I understood her. However, when Britt told Portia, well, you can't say anything when you can't even save my number in your phone in the group chat, this made me say, okay. Portia was just saying Britt doesn't feel supported in the group. Britt goes, okay, you didn't say my number. You never invited me over. And it made me kind of feel sorry for Britt in a sense. I was like, the girl needs a friend bad. I feel like she is dying for belonging. I think Britt came on this show very hopeful. I think she thought she was going to be the it girl. Maybe she's always been the prettiest girl in her friend group. I
Mm-hmm.
get her. She's been the prettiest friend in her friend group. She's always had the friends running up trying to be friends with her. And now you get into this group with these well established, beautiful women with a mouth. They can clap and you not sharp with your words. You pretty, but
Right.
there's always somebody prettier. You might can fight, but there's always somebody that's gonna bump up their chest at you. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I felt like being in this group really showed a lot of her insecurities. I really get that from her. And when she said that one thing about you didn't save my number, it made me think back to the scene where shit went to shit with Kenya. You said Kenya didn't hug you the right way. At the end of the day, none of these girls know you. They don't, y'all are trying to forge a relationship and trying to get to know each other. And this is hard amongst a brand new, almost whole new group of girls. So it really made me kind of understand that Brit just wants to belong. She wants a friend.
Yeah.
I think she came into this hopeful that she would have that. And so those type of things, like Portia asking her in a group chat something so small, like, who is this? Why did that trigger her in that way? And that's what made me think that she just wants to belong. She wants a friend. And I think that she's not getting what she came on here expecting.
Yeah. I got two things from that comment. She's sensitive. And the second thing is you so on edge about stuff that happened in the past. And when I say stuff in the past, I'm just talking about Real Housewives history.
Yes,
Like
watch.
they're gonna shade. So you always looking for the shade, like, ooh, are they trying to shade me? Are they trying to shade me? Is this genuine? Like, what's going on? So I feel like she was on edge with Kenya, like, she gonna try to shade me. She gonna try to shade me. That's what I was getting with that, with the whole hug thing. Like, oh, did she give me a hug? I think she's trying to shade me. Like that type of situation. But that was just her being sensitive about that whole group chat thing. Cause baby, who don't get upset about that? Bitch, we all talking up in there and you be like, who is this? Excuse
Absolutely.
me?
Even with you mentioning it, I had to look up Brit Edie's zodiac sign to see she's born October 9th. So she's a Libra. She's 37 years old. So she's out your age. You know, I ain't 37 yet. I'm still young.
Girl.
I'm 36. I won't be 37 just so much later than Quita turned
So
30.
much later. When is your birthday?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna be 30. The point is I'm younger than her. Like her birthday is all the way in
Okay,
April.
girl.
birthday's all the way in April. She's at 37 in April. I don't even turn 37 until much later, July.
July.
Yeah, but Brie is a Libra. I don't know much about Libras. I have never befriended a Libra. A part of us talking about that, like her being sensitive and needing a sense of belonging, I could have thought maybe she was a Cancer a little bit. Just giving her feistiness, just
Mm-hmm.
all her
Just
sensitivity.
sensitive thugs.
Yeah, a sensitive thug. I thought maybe she could have been a Cancer, but she is not. Bless your heart. So
Yeah.
at least I was gonna give you an excuse for being that way, but unfortunately you didn't make the cut. So good luck with that.
It's Pisces and Cancers.
Yeah,
Sensitive thugs.
I don't even know a Pisces.
Your
Uh,
mom is a Pisces.
yeah, but at the dinner meeting, let's just pivot and move on. The prime minister stopped by. You said the prime minister was cute. I think he was okay.
The prime minister was cute. I just wanted him to be like 2 to 3 inches taller. But he was a cutie pie.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Uh,
men that they showed in that cooking class, I know we didn't really talk about it too much, but in that cooking class, those men were decent.
yeah,
I'm
and
like, okay, I love a chocolate drop. Okay.
they were definitely flirting with the prime minister. Particularly, they were trying to kind of push Kelly, like, oh, Kelly, you
Yeah.
think you're rude." But I was like, if I was the prime minister, Kelly definitely wouldn't be the first one of those girls at the table that I would look at.
You want to know what?
But they,
I can see Drew. I
me,
don't see Portia with the prime minister.
Portia don't need to be with nobody of a certain stature. She needs to be with Future. I think Future is a great match for her.
I don't. We're not putting trash on people. Like, don't do that.
I think she definitely that's what she wants. She need her somebody that ain't gonna be dealing with her bullshit who gonna make her the nice baby mama. I think she don't need no African friends. She don't need nobody. You
I'm done.
did. Future is right up her alley. He probably thought somebody
Kitty, stop. That's insulting.
beat it. She thought the train had a conductor. She needs somebody just like Future. I think that's
She said,
right.
somebody has to be driving the train.
And he probably thinks he'll help her find who was driving the train. So
Maybe she can date Stevie J. Stevie J drives the bus.
Stevie J would be somebody great for her. She can get banged
You
good.
are so wrong. I'm being funny, and you gonna say Stevie J would be great for her.
Stevie J would be great for her too. I
I'm
think
done.
he know that the train ain't got no actual. He gonna be
Oh
like,
my gosh.
"You got no control."
Horrible.
He be like, come to Stevie's history class. I think that would be great. But yeah, Portia, yeah, we gonna keep her with Future. Next,
Gosh.
so they leave the dinner. And in the car, of course, they ride separate cars. Phaedra was giving Britt a few words of advice about how she comes off. She says that Britt is self-sabotaging. We kind of touched on that a little bit. She said that you are always like on ready. And she said you need to show yourself friendly.
I like that phrase.
I like that advice. I think it was spot on. What about you?
When she said it, I said, "Oh, girl, let me put this in my book of quotes." I like that. Show yourself friendly.
Yes. And I think
That
it's
was
okay
cute.
to be on ready, but you gotta take a note from Angela's book. Angela is on ready too, but on ready don't mean you sitting there waiting
Right.
on confrontation. I think that's what it looks like for Brit. She's sitting there on edge about it.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna say to me, "Oh, cause I'm gonna beat their ass." Oh, I'm gonna beat their
Yeah.
ass. No, it's like that, and I think she gotta chill because Housewives not about fighting.
Right.
It's about reading the girls and cutting them holes deep with your words. And I think you can take time to learn it. Cynthia didn't have it. Cynthia learned.
Yeah, she
She was
did.
a more ditzy, non-combative type of person too. Brit is combative, like she will fight. Um,
Maybe. Those
we
type of girls don't fight
now
hard.
say she do, but we don't know. But yeah, I think that's the if I was gonna listen to Phaedra on anything, that was a very good word of advice. Show yourself.
Mhm.
Come on now.
Right. She been
Follow.
on here long enough.
Yeah, she been on here long enough to know. And I'm very iffy about taking advice from Phaedra.
Girl, you so silly.
Uh,
Phaedra said, you want to have as many friends as possible when you hanging out with all these girls. And
and
that was
she
true tea.
and everybody knows.
You can't
that-
be beefing with everybody. Somebody got to be on your side to take up for you when you ain't in the room. If everybody don't like you, like what we talking about. Now,
Yeah,
Kelly could have said that about Brit.
yeah,
You got a problem with everybody at the table.
yeah,
She directed that to Drew.
yeah. After this episode, for me, there was a little bit of hope. There was a little bit of me saying, okay, if Britt keeps going in this direction, I can see her coming back. But
Yeah,
as
she's
of recent events, we know that's not happening at this point, and we'll talk about that a little later. Let's just kind of get through the rest of this episode because I feel like the next piece of what happened was a really instrumental part of why I love the episode. So in the car back, Shamia does get a calls her husband to kind of check on the kids, and he says that Shiloh's health has kind of declined. But when you have a child with so many uh, health
illness. Yeah.
issues, it's expected. So in this moment, we see Shamia being comforted by all the women. Shamia's crying. She's not there. And after this episode, I went on Twitter, which y'all call X now, right?
Yeah.
Read some of the comments, and I was so disappointed in the United States of the Americas.
What do you mean?
Just so disappointed in so many women saying, I would have jumped on the plane and headed right back home. I would have did this. What kind of mama would be on this trip? And it made me so sad because I was already crying from watching the episode,
Right.
but it made me so sad to see women, especially women that are moms. We've had a child with a fever, with a headache. They fell and skinned their knee. And I've learned as a mama too, you don't just run to everything. Like, come on now, get up, baby. You all right? You got a skin knee. Come on, you all right? Don't cry. Just a little blood.
Mhm.
But this is a child who was born with so many issues and is gonna always have issues. Lord, Lord willing, she does.
Yeah.
But from what it
She
is,
doesn't.
it is. It is what it is. She's gonna always be sick. She's gonna always be in the hospital. The fortunate thing about this situation is that Shamia has a partner. She has a husband. She
Yes, she
has
does.
a helpmate. She has around the clock care as well.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking from a broke bitch perspective, with
Jesus.
baby daddies, none of them claim them. They all on your last name because the daddy won't even get a blood test.
My God,
You hold
today.
them from the daddy. You hold them from her. You trash bag ass bitches who
My God.
try not to judge other people's situation and say, you can't tell no motherhood runs deep. When I'm not there, I'm a mama. If he
Right.
puts his motherfucking head and I can't make it back to 2 days, I'm still a mama.
Right.
Lady could have been going through depression. She need a fucking break. And if she want to go out of town, her baby gonna always be sick. But that's why she got two motherfucking parents. And that pissed me off going on X. And I'm gonna let you take it from here. If I curse hoes out some more with a one stroller six kid having ass. I'm tired.
So it's funny because I didn't check Twitter this time. Like usually I will check Twitter, but I did not check Twitter this time. So I didn't see those comments. I know, just like you, I was crying on this episode because I'm just like, as a mom, that hit deep.
Yes.
Like it's hard when you're trying to keep up with your identity as a person, but you still gotta be a mom. I'm talking about there are no breaks, there are no
No,
vacations, there isn't anything. So it's just like when she said this phrase, she said, "My baby over there sick and I'm over here taking care of him." And I'm just like,
what happened? Well, Biddy left the chat. She'll be
sorry.
back. There she
Yeah.
goes.
She said she'll be back. But yes, that was a lot. That cut deep because I understand you trying to do something for yourself. Just a little bit, not too much.
Mhm. And and this is a good teaching moment just from two women. We both are moms of boys. But boy, girl, it, other, whatever, them, whatever. Take time for yourself. And don't let no bitch, nobody make you feel guilty for taking time to get yourself right. Because if you ain't right, if your
No,
mental, you can't be there for the kids anyway.
that's
So
facts.
I just didn't like that. I thought it was really distasteful, and that ain't gonna never sit well with me when somebody talk about what somebody else doing for their kids.
Yeah,
I try not to tell nobody what the fuck to do with their kids. You know what's best. You do what's best for you, and I'm gonna do what's best for me. And keep your
right.
goddamn mouth shut when it comes to what I'm doing for mine, unless I ask you. That's just what it is. But it was good to see when Shamia came down the steps. Everybody was just sitting there quiet, like,
I know.
but they were all like, we just want to hug you. And I thought that's what housewives is about. Them hoes fight like cats and dogs just 2 minutes before at the dinner.
Yes.
And that's what really made me take a liking. I still don't like you, but it made me say, okay, this girl has something. Brit,
Kelly
when she,
said, Kelly
yeah,
said, I feel like we should all grab hands and just pray. I said, oh, Lord have mercy.
it was a good moment.
I'm
It was
talking
a,
about tears just flowing, just a flowing, just a flowing. Just knowing that even when Britt was like, I know we going through something right now, i.e., we was just going at each other head at this dinner. I'm just letting you know I'm still gonna be your friend. Like I'm still I can sympathize with your situation. Whatever you need from me, I got your back. Like, we just gonna go from there.
I liked that a lot. And then to kind of lighten the mood, Britt went and plopped her big ass titties on them folks' counter and was like, you know what? I'll take a shot with you on this one. I'm gonna take a shot. So I really like seeing that part of Britt. I really enjoyed this scene. I really enjoyed this. We need more of those. I just did that. There was a point in the episode that I missed, but I did want to talk about. It was up in the car scene when they were on the way back from dinner. Uh, they were on the way back from dinner, and Portia and Shamia started singing a song about. It was something. What were they singing about? Brittany? Booty hole? What was the song about? Booty hole?
Say, Betty, I couldn't hear you. I just started hearing you now. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. What was the song about that Shamia and Portia was singing in the car? It was about
Something
eating. You know,
dingling.
it was something so freaking funny.
What
You
was
didn't.
it?
They made it.
Dingaling and hot dogs. What was the song?
I was thinking about blowing a booty hole. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it was something about the booty hole. I said dingaling. Oh, they was like booty hole.
I don't know. But the only reason
Um,
I mentioned it was because I was like, okay, this reminds me of me and Biddy. Like it was fun. It was light. They just came off a very awkward dinner scene situation, questioning their friendship. People have been saying Portia's not a really good friend to me, or to Shamir, she's a hater. So it was good to see them just leaning head to head. It felt like an off-camera situation. It felt like something that they do regularly, and it showed probably like why they've been friends for so long because they both goofy, and I can see Shamir
yes,
very goofy, and we know Portia to be very goofy, and that's why she's a good time girl.
right,
But that's what we wanted to see from the very first. Well, I ain't gonna speak for anybody else. That's what I wanted to see from the very first episode. With Shamia coming on this show, I wanted to see Portia in the confessionals hyping her bitch up and being like, "My bitch Shamia here, we going." I wanted to see more scenes of them at each other's house, sitting on the couch talking shit about the other girls, because that's what we would do in an authentic relationship. I feel like if we were on Housewives
right.
over your house, we'll be in the kitchen. You'll be making the hot wings. I'll be sitting at your bar like we used to do back in the day, drinking on some $12 San Antonio sweet red, talking shit about the
Yes, man, you gotta have the sweet bread.
and us disagree about because we don't never agree on shit. So the fact that we was both crying off this episode is shocking to me. Because typically I'd be like, "Diddy, I cried so hard," and you'd be like, "I didn't cry at all." I was
I
like,
didn't feel it. Well, like, nope, I didn't feel it.
those are the type of friendships that I would want to see on the show. A Mariah and Quad.
Yes,
The Portia and Shamia that we just saw. Uh,
it was
they,
refreshing to see.
they were friends like that. So I hope they can get it right because they've been friends a long time. And I hate to say that because long time friendships don't mean a thing, but I hope we see more of that. I like this episode because of it. I like the drama, but I really do like come together moments. I like to see good girlfriends.
Exactly, it was cute. It was really cute.
Yeah.
Oh,
But the next episode they show Britt and Kelly having a falling out. And I know that they were saying Britt and Kelly were friends prior to the show, were good friends, and I just haven't
yeah.
seen it at all. I haven't seen them friends. I haven't seen anything.
Well,
Yeah.
when Kelly threw her that little brunch thingamajig in the backyard after the whole Kenya situation, like I felt like she was being a friend to her because she said nobody else reached out to her except for Kelly.
But I
So
saw
huh?
go ahead, please finish.
I was just like, I thought they were friends, but from the little snippet that we saw, I understood why Britt was saying something to Kelly. She was like, "Hey, me and you are friends, right? We friends. I'm not gonna check you in front of everybody. I'm gonna have a conversation with you, Biddy. You know you was tripping, right?
Yeah.
You were supposed to do X, Y, and Z. You know you should have had some food there." Like she made a comment on the last episode that unfortunately I can't even remember right now, where Britt was like, "Whoa, like you
Mhm.
gonna say that?
Yeah.
You gonna do that?" It's like, what are we doing? Like, don't act different because we around other people.
Even with that being said, I still didn't feel like they were friends. I've I've seen Kelly be there for pretty much everybody. And I feel like just watching her and Shamia, I feel like they've been friends for a very long time, even though they are new. And it just goes to show that,
New friends, yeah.
yeah, time means nothing. You can just like you be in a relationship for 15 years and you can meet somebody in one weekend and you be like, why the fuck I been with this nigga for 15 years? So I just didn't see a really close knit friendship that the public has claimed that they had prior to the show. Um Speaking of Brit Edie, I feel like we can just brush across this real quick.
Oh,
Of recent, she took to Instagram to post this whole debacle, and everybody has seen it. You can look it up. I'm not even gonna read it word for word, but pretty much she said that um she's looking for somebody to take accountability for what has happened. For the record, that picture that Kenya showed was not her. Um, she decided not to attend the reunion. So this was a big bomb dropping moment last week when this dropped that she wasn't at the reunion. How
mm-hmm.
do you feel about that, Biddy? She is the first person, by the way, in Housewives history, rookie history, that
Okay.
a new
It's
person
in the 10.
up to the reunion. How do you feel about her not showing up?
So what I found out is it's not a requirement for them to show up to the reunion. However, they do miss a show worth pay.
Okay.
So she's gonna miss probably like the last episode, whatever they get paid per episode. She's gonna miss that pay. Um, After reading this whole thing that she posted and hearing about the lawsuit, I understood why she did not show up.
You
She
do?
probably already knows they're not gonna bring her back. So if not, y'all finna pay me some money now. And
Okay.
I've already heard that Andy said they are starting the process where what is it called when they just pay them out, where they don't go to trial, they just pay them out. They settle. They are starting the settlement process right now. So
Oh,
she's not going forward with the case, huh?
oh, so they're gonna give her a settlement.
Yep, they are going to give her a settlement because it is true. If they already knew that there was not Britt Edie, they should have. They give a little tidbit, two questions, two sentences after an episode for everything else. You know, somebody going through domestic violence. You know, somebody that got hit. You know, somebody going through a disorder. They could have said something like, "Oh, after recording this, after going through everything, we found out it wasn't her." So that's what she's saying. Y'all already knew it wasn't me, but y'all allowed this narrative to keep going forward.
She's saying that, but did they know that? But they said they did an investigation. So either the bitch looked just like Brit, because if y'all did an investigation, y'all should have known it wasn't her.
Hmm.
So she does have a point there.
Yeah.
However, when it comes to, I'm just speaking on her not coming to the reunion. I think it was a trash move.
Oh, I didn't speak on that. I
You
just talked about her pay.
didn't go. I don't understand why she didn't go. I think it was a cowardice move to just not go, regardless of the pay. You signed up to do a job. And I think the worst thing that you can do sometimes is just not show up to defend yourself. But again, she doesn't have a mouthpiece. She doesn't know how to defend herself other than threatening to fight. So if that's the case, maybe I understand she don't know how to fight word for word with these girls. So they're gonna eat her ass up at the reunion. Furthermore, I want to see what the rest of the episodes hold because we do hear from Shamia that she's gonna say something about her child, and we know how they go. Tomato, tomato. Could she have said you need to be at home taking care of your kids or whatever because that's not talking about your child? Could have been a situation like that. We
Right.
just don't know. So I want to wait until these next few episodes because they are taping the reunion, of course. I want to see what the next few episodes look like to determine if she was even needed at the reunion or not. But I would have liked to see her stand up and defend herself, even if it was her last season. And BD, I do feel like sometimes the reunion can turn things around for you.
This
Even
is true. This is true, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they would have tore Britt Edie up at the reunion. That's just my opinion. What do they have to tear her up about the whole Kenya situation?
the rest of the episodes to know. That's why I said I can't judge
Well, this is true. This
it.
is true. But I was like, I don't know what's going to play out on the last episodes, but so far they don't have anything to like really go to jabs with her about. Um, but for her, in order for her to get the money for the lawsuit, because trust me, she was suing for 50 million. So I know you said it ain't all about the pay, bitch. 50 million. Sign me up. Sign me up.
Yeah, she is definitely a money grab, and I feel like if she spoke to, I'm sure she seek legal counsel, and they told her she had a case because
Yeah, they always do.
somebody like NBC, Universal, or Bravo without somebody feeling like they can win. So if she felt
Yeah.
like she could win a case, great. But I do feel like I would have liked her to go on this show and be like, and y'all know that wasn't me. If you gonna go out, go with a bang. Yeah, but they probably wouldn't have even aired it if she would have went.
Yeah. At all.
But I would have tried because word would have got out from the streets. Word would have definitely got out from the other girls that Britt cut the fuck up on that reunion. They would have got out, but she could have went on there and defended herself and said, and y'all knew goddamn well that wasn't me on the poster boards. And somebody stuck around for the whole time. Like some of them girls was in there for a while looking
But
at that.
Betty, if you head down, who am I to say that
Yeah. And who was Bravo to say that it was? But I felt like Bravo did try to take a proper precaution into letting Kenya go. I don't think they would have let Kenya go if they didn't think that this could come back like this and
no,
bite.
no, 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 no. But it don't matter who it is. You can't just be showing like people in sex scenes in front of all these people. Like you can't do it. Whether it was Brit, I don't think it made a difference whether it was Brit or anybody else. You just can't do that.
But I feel like if they didn't want to fire Kenya, they wouldn't have even shown it. They could have
Oh
chosen
no, they got to get their TV ratings up.
exactly, and then it costed you. But they thought they were going to show it. Fire Kenya to cover their ass, keep the other talent happy, and it would just all blow away.
Yeah.
But you got to keep. This is not a vet to the network. This girl could be broke. Y'all, they just missed. They dropped the ball. Bravo dropped the ball. So if Brit get any million from them, congratulations to her. If she get anything from them, congratulations. I don't think she's gonna get $1 million, but I do think that she's gonna get something. Maybe a couple 100,000. I
No,
think
I
she.
think she gonna get some millions.
I doubt
I don't think she getting 50 million, but
it. Do
she
they?
gonna get some millions. Word on the street is the settlement is 5 million. And I'm like, girl, you went from 50 to 5 million? Girl, no ma'am.
It was 2 million when I
Get some
saw it.
more. Huh?
I said I ain't never seen no 50 million. Let me look. I thought it was 2 million. Let me look this up real quick. Let's do some investigation.
No.
How much is Brit Edie suing Bravo?
Bravo.
Because I thought it was 2 million. You don't went up to 20, then 50.
No, I ain't going to no 20.
Suing Bravo for 20 million. Okay.
Okay, so it was 20 million. I was saying 50 million.
I don't think she's gonna get a million. BD
I
said
do.
she's gonna get a few
She
million.
she got a case.
I
She
think
has a
it's a
case.
$1 million case. Put your pinky up. We finna make a pinky bet on this. I bet you I need two
Look at my
espresso
nails, y'all.
martinis and I need me a spinach dip.
Oh, they look funny like that.
All right, she put her finger up, y'all. So if I don't get that spinach dip in them 2 espressos, I know some. Are we gonna
Girl,
ever?
you don't want to 2 espressos?
Yeah, I might need 3. I ain't not drinking. I'm drinking.
You ain't getting it no way. So,
I'm
but
definitely.
how will we know? Because if they settle, they're not gonna tell us how much they settled for.
I'ma just inbox Brie Edie. She ain't got no fans. She should.
Girl, you so sick. No, yes, she do, Biddy. Yes, she do. I had end up going to her page when she posted this note saying that she's not gonna be on the show. Like a lot of people was like, "Good, she don't deserve it," and I was like, "Where are these people coming from?"
She got 186,000 followers.
Period. She got more than I got, so shout out to her.
She ain't nobody right now. I'm gonna
Well,
be.
I'm somebody.
I
I'm
have,
somebody's mama. I'm somebody's wife. I'm somebody's daughter. Somebody's sister.
I have more followers than Brie Edie when my channel get up and running real good.
Period.
Mark my words.
Period.
Yeah, but I think the girl had talent, and I hate that it ended like this for her. But hopefully she get some money.
Right.
Hopefully she gets some money. So we did
So,
race.
Betty, let me just say this. We didn't talk about Angela and her husband, about her crying, about her being sad.
Okay, so you did see that thing.
I did not see the scene. You said she crying on the phone and he wasn't doing anything. I still didn't see the scene.
With the girls, and she was like, "This is my first time away from Charles." And then the girls kind of consoled her a little bit with words, and she was like, "I'm glad that they were kind of making me feel better for missing this."
Yep, got her a cake.
I was crying. I don't know why. Maybe I fell asleep and dreamed that she was
But
crying.
you right, because you said, yeah, she was on the phone. I'm thinking she on FaceTime with Charles and she crying, and he just like, oh, girl, gone.
Yeah,
That didn't happen. See, you trying to be just like them producers, trying to be messy.
Shamia, I took some back that was wrong,
Yeah, you done delivered the message all wrong.
but she was sad.
Yeah, she was sad.
I know this ain't
She
gonna
got a
change.
right to be sad. I mean, who want to be underneath all these girls? You got a man at the house, like
He's so good to her. Cause I'm sorry that
with the
Queen,
ball.
I know this ain't got shit to do with this segment, but I figured I should mention, like, I got this bald spot right here. Look how thin my hair is on the
Girl, cut it off. Cut it off. Where the end button?
I, I,
Where is the end button? Nobody cares,
somebody
baby.
is going through the postpartum like I was. I know my baby almost 6, but did y'all have problems with y'all hair growing back? I want y'all to be with me on this journey because my hair is a little thin. So when I get them thick edges and I'm not having a hair transplant, I want y'all to see my growth. So that's why I
Why
got
you not gonna have the herb transplant?
you gonna pay for it? I wouldn't do that anyway. It ain't that serious for me. My bald spot ain't hurt nobody. It just hindered me from wearing my side part. But
You still can wear your side part. It's just gonna be a little peekabooish. That's
girl,
all.
it's like real bald, and I ain't even gonna pull it back because I'm embarrassed right now. I don't want to bear all with y'all. I would just want to show y'all.
Okay, yeah, cause this ain't that. Turn it off. Turn it off. Cause I'm tell you
No,
something. I'm not showing my bald spot. You on your own with that one.
well, follow us on all social media platforms. My name is just listed as it is on the screen. Hers is
Oh,
listed as.
so is mine. So Prissy.
I ain't like that. I should have put my A. I'm gonna do that next time. But y'all like this video, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on all social media. And until next time, we'll see y'all. Bye.
Bye.